Okay, so you want to own a ghost kitchen. You hear the pitch constantly. A ghost kitchen, also called a cloud kitchen or dark kitchen, is a commercial kitchen with no dining room. You don't need front-of-house staff. You don't need expensive real estate in prime locations. You don't need to seat customers. You just cook food and send it to delivery platforms. The unit economics seem brilliant. Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub. These platforms deliver your food. You pay them 25% to 30% commission. That's all. You operate from a cheap warehouse. Your overhead is minimal. A kitchen renting for $3,000 per month in an industrial area instead of $8,000 per month in a restaurant district. You can operate multiple concepts from one kitchen. Italian one night. Indian the next. Sushi the next. Each concept has its own menu. Each sells through different apps. One facility generating revenue from 3 different brands. The unit economics look phenomenal. It sounds like owning a printing press that prints money through delivery apps. It sounds like owning a ghost kitchen in 2018 when the concept was novel, when delivery apps were desperate for supply, when restaurant margins were compressed, and when anyone with culinary skills and modest capital could build a thriving business. That is exactly the comparison people are making right now. The ghost kitchen industry was valued at over $70 billion globally. There are over 10,000 ghost kitchens operating in the United States alone. Venture capital has poured billions into the space. Companies like Cloud Kitchens have raised hundreds of millions. Major restaurant chains are launching ghost kitchen concepts. Independent operators are launching brands. The delivery ecosystem seems infinite. But here's what is actually happening on the ground, inside ghost kitchens when the cameras are off and the actual financial statements are open. The reality of owning a ghost kitchen is completely different from what the low-overhead narrative suggests. Some ghost kitchens are making money. Many are barely surviving. And the vast majority are losing money every month despite high revenue numbers. The gap between the few that thrive and the vast majority that fail comes down to a handful of things that almost nobody explains before you invest $100,000 to $500,000 in kitchen equipment and delivery logistics. By the end of this, you will know exactly where the money comes from, where it disappears to, why most ghost kitchens burn through capital in year 1, and what separates the operators that generate returns from the ones that become expensive lessons in unit economics. What a ghost kitchen actually sells. The delivery dependency trap. People assume that owning a ghost kitchen means you're selling great food through delivery apps. You are. But that's not where the profit comes from. If you're selling food through delivery apps at standard pricing, the margins are catastrophic. What a ghost kitchen actually sells is convenience and speed. The customer doesn't care about your costs or your overhead. The customer cares about food arriving fast, tasting good, and being priced competitively against dozens of other options on the same app. But here's the brutal truth that most operators don't understand until they're hemorrhaging money. Delivery apps have completely inverted the restaurant economics. A traditional restaurant with table service operates on 10% to 15% net margins. A ghost kitchen selling through delivery platforms operates on negative margins. This is the core issue that kills most ghost kitchens. The math is simple but brutal. A customer orders $25 in food from your ghost kitchen through DoorDash. DoorDash takes 30%. You're left with $17.50. The cost of goods sold is $7 to $9. You're left with $8.50 to $10.50. That sounds okay. But now subtract labor to prepare the food, $3 to $5, facility rent allocated per order, $1 to $2, utilities, 50 cents, packaging, $1, credit card processing on the delivery platform fee, 3%, and other costs. You're suddenly losing 50 cents to $1.50 per order. Multiply that by 50 orders per day and you're losing $25 to $75 per day. Per month, $750 to $2,250. Per year, $9,000 to $27,000 in losses. Add marketing costs to drive volume and you're burning through capital rapidly. The full upfront investment, what actually costs money. Everyone talks about the cheap kitchen space. Nobody talks about everything else that eats capital before the first order is delivered. Kitchen space lease and build out, $30,000 to $150,000. A ghost kitchen needs industrial or warehouse space. 800 to 2,000 square feet. Rent is $2,000 to $5,000 per month in most markets. Build-out requires commercial-grade kitchen installation, ventilation, grease traps, health department compliance. Cost: $30,000 to $150,000. Kitchen equipment: $30,000 to $100,000. Commercial stoves, ovens, fryers, grills. Refrigeration units. Prep tables. Dishwashing systems. Quality equipment costs money. Cheap equipment breaks constantly and reduces food quality. Cost: $30,000 to $100,000. Point of sale and delivery platform integration: $5,000 to $20,000. Menu management systems. POS systems integrated with delivery apps. Order management software. Payment processing. Kitchen display systems. Cost: $5,000 to $20,000. Health permits and licenses: $5,000 to $15,000. Food service license. Health department permits. Inspection certifications. Business licenses. Varies by jurisdiction. Cost: $5,000 to $15,000. Insurance: $3,000 to $10,000 per year. General liability. Workers' compensation if you have employees. Product liability. Food safety insurance. Cost: $3,000 to $10,000 annually. Initial inventory and food costs: $10,000 to $30,000. Bulk ingredients. Packaging. Dry goods. Initial inventory to launch operations. Cost: $10,000 to $30,000. Packaging and delivery setup: $5,000 to $20,000. Food packaging. Branded containers. Bags. Napkins. Hot/cold delivery containers. Cost: $5,000 to $20,000. Marketing and platform launch: $20,000 to $100,000. Getting listed on delivery platforms. Promotional spend to drive initial orders. Influencer partnerships. Social media setup. Most operators underspend here and then realize they need more. Cost: $20,000 to $100,000. Initial staffing and operations: $10,000 to $40,000. First month salaries for kitchen staff. Training. Initial operating expenses before revenue stabilizes. Cost: $10,000 to $40,000. Working capital buffer: $20,000 to $100,000. Reserve for operating during ramp-up. Ingredient restocking. Equipment repairs. Contingencies. Most operators underestimate this. Cost: $20,000 to $100,000. The real total investment. For a legitimate ghost kitchen with one concept, the total upfront investment is $150,000 to $500,000. For a multi-concept ghost kitchen with multiple brands, you need $300,000 to $800,000. Most operators are self-funded or venture-backed. Few use traditional financing. Where the money actually goes: the operating cost reality. Once you're open and accepting orders through delivery platforms, the costs are relentless. And this is where the ghost kitchen business reveals why margins collapse. Delivery platform commission: 25% to 30% of revenue. The largest cost. This is the single largest expense. DoorDash takes 30%. Uber Eats takes 25% to 30%. Grubhub takes 15% to 30% depending on partnership. If you're on all three platforms, your blended commission is 25% to 28%. On $50,000 in monthly revenue, that's $12,500 to $14,000 going directly to platforms. This is the structural flaw of the ghost kitchen model. Cost of goods sold: 25% to 35% of revenue. Ingredients. Food cost varies by concept but generally runs 25% to 35%. A higher percentage than traditional restaurants because ghost kitchens typically offer lower priced items to compete on delivery platforms. Labor: 20% to 35% of revenue. Kitchen staff: prep cooks, line cooks. A kitchen needs 3 to 5 people during peak hours. Labor is expensive. For a kitchen doing $50,000 in monthly revenue, you might need $10,000 to $17,500 monthly in labor. Rent/facility costs, 8% to 15% of revenue. A $3,000 monthly lease on $50,000 revenue is 6%. In higher cost markets, it's 10% to 15%. Packaging and delivery logistics, 8% to 12% of revenue. Packaging costs. Hot bag/cold bag costs. Some operators pay for driver tips or provide incentives. Cost, 8% to 12% of revenue. Marketing and customer acquisition, 10% to 20% of revenue. You can't rely on organic discovery on platforms. You need promotional spend. Discounts. Coupons. Paid advertising. Ghost kitchens need constant customer acquisition spending. Cost, 10% to 20% of revenue. Utilities and operating costs, 3% to 5% of revenue. Electricity, gas, water, internet, phone. Cost, 3% to 5% of revenue. The monthly revenue and cost reality for a typical ghost kitchen. A single concept ghost kitchen doing realistic volume. Average order value, $25 orders per day, 40. Many ghost kitchens do 30 to 50, operating days, 25 per month, close some days. Monthly orders, 40 times 25 is equal to 1,000 orders. Monthly revenue, 1,000 times $25 equals $25,000. Now the costs. Delivery platform commission, 28%, $7,000. Cost of goods sold, 30%, $7,500. Labor, 32%, $8,000. Rent, 12%, $3,000. Packaging/logistics, 10%, $2,500. Marketing/customer acquisition, 15%, $3,750. Utilities and operating, $1,000. Credit card processing, 2%, $500. Miscellaneous/contingency, 3%, $750. Total operating costs, $34,000. Operating loss, $9,000. Monthly loss, $9,000. Annual operating loss, $108,000. This ghost kitchen with $25,000 in monthly revenue is losing $9,000 per month or $108,000 per year. The model is deeply unprofitable. Scaling doesn't fix the broken model. Some operators think the solution is to scale. Do more volume. But the unit economics are broken. Scaling just loses money faster. A ghost kitchen doing $50,000 in monthly revenue loses $18,000 per month. $75,000 revenue loses $27,000 per month. You're on a treadmill running backward. Volume increases losses. The only way to become profitable is to reduce platform commission exposure. But you can't. Platforms won't allow it. Increase prices. But you'll lose volume on price-sensitive platforms. Reduce costs below already thin margins. But COGS and labor are locked in. Shift volume to direct delivery. But this requires offline customer acquisition. Most operators can't do any of these things. They're trapped. What ghost kitchen owners don't account for. The brutal realities: platform algorithm suppression. Delivery platforms suppress orders for low-rated restaurants or restaurants without enough volume. You launch a new concept. Initially, you're buried on the app. You need to promote aggressively to get visibility. You're paying for every order through heavy discounts. Once you get traction, platform algorithms might bury you again based on factors you don't control. Customer acquisition cost inflation. Early ghost kitchens had low CAC because delivery was novel. Today, platforms are saturated with options. CAC has inflated from $5 to $10 initially to $15 to $25 plus today. You're spending more to acquire each customer. Margins compress further. Delivery order volatility. Orders are unpredictable. You might do 60 orders one day and 25 the next. This makes inventory planning impossible. You over-prepare for busy days. You waste food on slow days. Food cost percentage is higher than budgeted. Platform delisting and account suspension. Platforms can delist you for low ratings, customer complaints, or policy violations. An account suspension is a business-ending event. Your only revenue stream evaporates. This happens constantly. Multi-concept cannibalization. Operating multiple concepts from one kitchen seems smart. Italian and Indian. But they cannibalize each other for the same customer attention and kitchen capacity. You're not multiplying revenue. You're dividing it. The ghost kitchen that actually works. You open a high-volume concept in a delivery-saturated urban market. You're optimized for delivery. Your menu is simple, 5 to 10 high-margin items. You focus on one platform initially, mastering the algorithm before expanding to others. You build a direct customer base through your own app and email list. You eventually shift 40% to 50% of orders off the platform to your own channels where you keep 100% margin. You achieve scale and operational efficiency. Year 1 you lose $100,000. Year 2 you break even. Year 3 you're profitable. You're finally making $10,000 to $20,000 monthly profit at $80,000 to $100,000 in revenue. Alternatively, you operate the ghost kitchen as a supply component for an existing restaurant. You don't run it independently. You run it as an ancillary revenue stream for a physical restaurant. The physical restaurant drives the brand. The ghost kitchen extends the brand through delivery platforms. You capture incremental delivery revenue without relying on pure delivery volume. The bad scenario, the more common outcome: you open a ghost kitchen with $300,000 invested. You launch 3 concepts simultaneously to maximize the kitchen investment. Initial volume is $40,000 per month across all 3. Operating costs are $38,000 per month. You're barely profitable, maybe $2,000 per month. But reality hits immediately. Platform algorithms suppress your concepts. Orders drop to $25,000 per month. You're now losing $13,000 per month. You try aggressive promotion. You give 40% discounts. Orders spike to $35,000. But your margin is now negative because of discounting. You're losing $15,000 per month while spending extra on marketing. By month 8, you've burned $120,000 of your $300,000 capital. You're still burning $15,000 per month. By month 12, you've burned $180,000. By month 16, you've burned $240,000. You're nearly out of capital. You're forced to close. Total damage: $280,000 to $300,000 lost investment plus time. Most operators exit within 12 to 18 months. The hidden costs nobody discusses: the time and energy drain. Ghost kitchens require constant attention. Menu optimization, platform management, customer service, quality control, food waste reduction. The owner is working 60+ hours per week. The financial return per hour worked is often below minimum wage. A ghost kitchen losing $10,000 per month while consuming 60 hours per week is paying you negative $40 per hour to work. Most operators would make more money working a job. The venture capital delusion. Venture capital has invested billions in ghost kitchen platforms and concepts. Cloud kitchens raised $500 million plus. Multiple other platforms raised hundreds of millions. But most are unprofitable. They're scaling losses, not scaling profitability. When capital runs out, they'll struggle to survive. The venture narrative created a false sense of viability that masks the broken unit economics. Conclusion: the actual economics of ghost kitchen ownership. Owning a ghost kitchen is a capital-intensive food service business with structurally broken unit economics due to delivery platform commission rates. Most ghost kitchens lose money every month. Profitability requires either scale beyond what most operators achieve or revenue diversification into channels with lower commission rates. The money in ghost kitchens goes to 4 groups. First, delivery platforms taking 25% to 30% commission. Second, food suppliers capturing margin. Third, venture capital firms funding the space, but losing money. Fourth, the rare operator who achieves profitability through scale or direct customer relationships. The separation between ghost kitchens that survive and those that fail comes down to 3 factors: platform-independent revenue channels, direct ordering, catering, wholesale; operational efficiency at scale, high volume, streamlined labor; menu discipline, few items, high margins, optimized for delivery. A ghost kitchen built on pure delivery platform volume will almost certainly fail. The 25% to 30% commission combined with food costs, labor, and facility costs leaves no margin for profit. You're losing money on every order. Scaling just loses money faster. Here's the brutal reality that ghost kitchen evangelists won't acknowledge. The ghost kitchen model works in theory but fails in practice. The capital requirements are lower than traditional restaurants. But the unit economics are worse. A traditional restaurant with 12% net margins loses money slowly. A ghost kitchen with negative unit economics loses money quickly. Most ghost kitchens burn through capital in 12 to 18 months before operators are forced to exit. If you're considering opening a ghost kitchen in 2026, understand that you're betting on eventually achieving scale that creates profitability or building sufficient direct customer channels to reduce platform dependency. Both are extremely difficult. Most operators fail to achieve either. They burn $250,000 in year one and shut down. The ghost kitchen space is littered with failed operators who learn this lesson the hard way. Don't be another statistic. The unit economics are broken. Proceed with extreme caution.